question I want to answer now is that why? Why such importance to tears for Imam Husayn alayhi salam? And there are multiple reasons why these tears hold a very important place for us. Number one, these tears are a sign of a believer. Yeah? The hadith are very clear in this regard, right? The third Imam himself says, "Ana qatilul abara," right? That I am the one, the shaheed whose dhikr or mention, tears will come automatically in the heart or in the eyes of believers. La yadhkuruni mu'min illa sta'bar. That a believer will not remember me except that their eyes will water, right? Like this is important, you know? Like this is really important. Like I'm not saying that, you know, there are sometimes God gives indication to the condition of our heart. You know what I mean? I think this is sometimes we have to focus on this a lot. Because how do we know the condition of my heart? My heart beats, so I think it's good. You know, my heart like comes to the mosque, they pray, so I think my heart is good. But then there are other elements that Allah says that a believer's heart reacts a certain way. You know, like, again, like, so I'm not keeping my eyes down when I make the next two statements, yeah? Like if I, for example, like if I find difficulty reciting salawat loudly, like you got to look at your heart at that moment. Be like, why? Right? Like, why am I finding difficulty to thank the Prophet for the ihsan the Prophet did upon me by guiding me this path? Why is that difficult, right? Look in your heart. The heart will tell you why. Why is it hard for me to cry for Imam al-Husayn? Look at the heart. You know, the heart's going to tell you why. Now, we're not saying every Thursday you got to cry. Well, but sometimes, like, even Ashura, people find great difficulty in crying. You know, like, that's such a day, like, I'm sure we experience this. Like, you wake up sad on Ashura. You just wake up sad on Ashura, you know. And so, the sign of a mu'min doesn't mean I'm a kafir. It just means if I have difficulty crying or if tears don't come out, you know, ask Allah to make your heart soft, you know, ask and work towards this. And we'll talk about this, like pretend to cry even, you know. Like somebody who does this, like it's, you know, you're my home Jamaat. It's annoying when Masaib is being recited and people are just staring at you, you know. I was like, Baba, have some respect, look down. The dhikr of Aba Abdullah is taking place, you know, just have some adab that comes to the dhikr of Aba Abdullah. But these are things that enhance, you know, like I've spoken so many times, we have to fake it till we make it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like this is a life hack you have to believe in. So I can't cry. Well then pretend to cry. You know it's a worthy cause, pretend to cry. Look down, right? Do something that brings about at least a tear, and you will notice a floodgates open. But this is a responsibility that is part and parcel of being a believer, where tears will appear because of that tragedy. And again, the greater the understanding of his maqam and the position that he holds, and then the sacrifice he made, the tears are necessary. How to bring it about is a personal conversation. Okay, so that's number one, that why are these tears important? Because they are an alama, a sign of faith. Number two, these tears are important because by crying for Husayn alayhi salam, we are following in the sunnah of the Prophet. The Prophet cried for Husayn. Imam Ali cried for Husayn. Sayyidah Zahra cried for Husayn. Imam al-Hasan cried. Every imam that has come after has cried for Husayn. Yeah? So why not want to be considered with them and follow in their footsteps? So again, this is a sunnah that is part and parcel of the traditions that have come from us. A third reason why, it's a form of our demonstration of, I would say, allegiance to the third Imam as well. You know, that like I'm not jaded by what's happened. I'm not hard-hearted by what's happened. Like I genuinely, when I say, Ya laytana kunna ma, I mean it. I wish we were with you. I wish. It's not just a statement, right? But if I don't even feel heartbroken about it, and maybe I do feel heartbroken, I have these tears, I'm telling you, like the heart can cry, but try to bring those out, and whatever you have to do to bring those out in the beginning, eventually you will cherish crying, for Husayn alayhi salam. That's number 3. It's a form of demonstration of our allegiance. Number 4, that these gatherings and the musibah that we recite and these gatherings keep the traditions of the message of the Ahlulbayt alayhimus salam alive. There is a great significance to this. There's a beautiful hadith from our 6th Imam as-Sadiq alayhi afdalus salatu wassalam, ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, where he says to his companion Fudail, he says, Ya Fudail, tajlisuna wa tuhaddithun. He says, do you sit and do you discuss? This is it, And he says, Naam, ju'iltu fidak, may I be sacrificed for you that we do sit. And then the Imam says, Inna tilkal majalis uhibbuha. I love these type of gatherings. Why? Fa'ahyu amrana. Because you keep our affairs alive. Imagine if we didn't gather for these gatherings. What connection would we have to the Ahlul Bayt? What connection would we have to the Prophet and his family? And so these gatherings, we learn their affairs. We learn how to get closer to him.